Imagine this, you're sitting down to study, or maybe you're in a meeting, or perhaps you're just trying to recall where you left your keys, and that frustrating fog rolls in. The name you know is just out of reach. The detail you just read seems to vanish. That feeling of your memory not being as sharp, as quick, as reliable as you'd like, it's incredibly common, especially as life gets busier or as we get older. It doesn't mean anything seriously wrong, but it can feel unsettling, like your most trusted tool is getting a bit rusty. Before you resign yourself to this or reach for complicated supplements, picture a simple, unassuming green plant, Gotu Kola. Brewing its leaves into a warm cup of Gotu Kola tea and sipping it regularly might be the gentle, natural support your brain has been craving. It's not about instant superpowers or erasing age, but think of it like giving your memory pathways a daily dose of nourishment, helping your brain cells communicate better, stay healthier, and rebuild those vital connections that hold your precious memories. It's about nurturing your cognitive garden from the roots up, sip by soothing sip. So, why Gotu Kola? And why specifically for memory? This humble herb, revered for centuries in traditional Chinese medicine, Ayurveda, the ancient healing system of India, and other cultures as a brain tonic, contains powerful natural compounds that science is now showing directly target the very foundations of how we form and recall memories. The key players are called triterpenes, with the most studied being asiaticoside, madecassoside, asiatic acid, and madecassic acid. Think of these triterpenes as skilled multitaskers, little messengers traveling through your system and delivering specific instructions to your brain and nervous system. They don't just work in one way, they tackle memory support from several crucial angles simultaneously, creating a comprehensive nurturing effect for your mind. One of the most fundamental ways Gotu Kola tea supports memory is by giving your brain a better blood supply. Your brain is an energy hog. It uses about 20% of your body's oxygen and fuel, glucose, even though it's only about 2% of your weight. To think clearly, focus, and form memories, your brain cells desperately need a constant, rich supply of oxygen and nutrients delivered by your blood. If the tiny blood vessels, capillaries, supplying your brain are weak, narrowed, or inefficient, your neurons literally starve and can't function optimally. This is where Gotu Kola's triterpenes step in. They act like skilled engineers for your blood vessels. They help strengthen the walls of capillaries, making them less leaky and more resilient. They also promote vasodilation, meaning they help these tiny vessels relax and widen slightly. Imagine narrow, congested roads being widened and smoothed out. Better blood flow means more oxygen and glucose can reach every corner of your brain, especially critical areas like the hippocampus, which is the absolute headquarters for forming new memories. With improved fuel delivery, your neurons can fire more efficiently, communicate better, and lay down those new memory traces much more effectively. Drinking Gotu Kola tea is like upgrading the highway system to your brain's power plant. But Gotu Kola doesn't stop at just delivering the supplies. It actively helps protect and repair the brain cells themselves. Our brains are constantly under subtle attack from things called free radicals, unstable molecules generated by normal metabolism, stress, pollution, and even just breathing oxygen. This damage is called oxidative stress, and it's like little sparks causing wear and tear on your neurons and their delicate connections. Over time, this can impair function and contribute to cognitive decline. Gotu Kola's triterpenes are potent antioxidants. They act like tiny firefighters, neutralizing these harmful free radicals before they can damage the fats in cell membranes, crucial proteins, and even the DNA inside your neurons. By quenching these sparks, Gotu Kola tea helps shield your precious brain cells from this daily onslaught, preserving their structure and function. Furthermore, Gotu Kola combats neuroinflammation, low-grade, chronic inflammation in the brain. Inflammation is your body's response to injury or threat, but when it smolders constantly in the brain, it damages neurons, disrupts communication, and is heavily linked to memory problems. Gotu Kola's compounds help calm this inflammation by reducing the production of inflammatory chemicals, creating a calmer, healthier environment where your brain cells can thrive and communicate clearly. It's like putting out background fires and dampening disruptive noise so the important work of thinking and remembering can happen smoothly. Here's where Gotu Kola gets truly exciting. It doesn't just protect existing brain cells, it actively encourages them to grow and make new connections. This is linked to a vital concept called neuroplasticity, your brain's amazing ability to change, adapt, and rewire itself throughout your life. Forming memories literally involves creating and strengthening connections between neurons. Gotu Kola's triterpenes, particularly asiatic acid and madecassic acid, act like natural fertilizers for your brain. They stimulate the production of key proteins and structural components that neurons need to grow. Most importantly, research shows they can promote the growth of dendrites, the branch-like structures that receive signals from other neurons, and axons, the long wires that send signals out. They also encourage the formation of new synapses, the tiny gaps where communication actually happens between neurons. Think of it like a tree growing new branches and roots, expanding its network. By stimulating neurite outgrowth, the growth of dendrites and axons, and synaptogenesis, the formation of new synapses, Gotu Kola tea helps your brain literally build the physical infrastructure needed for learning and memory. It enhances your brain's inherent plasticity, making it easier to form new memories and strengthen existing ones. It's like giving your brain's wiring crew extra tools and motivation to expand the network. Gotu Kola tea also supports memory by boosting levels of a crucial brain chemical called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF. BDNF is often called fertilizer for the brain or miracle-grow for your mind. It's a protein that plays several vital roles. It helps existing neurons survive and stay healthy. It encourages the growth of new neurons, a process called neurogenesis, especially in the hippocampus. And it is absolutely essential for strengthening the connections between neurons, synaptic plasticity, the very foundation of learning and memory. Higher levels of BDNF are strongly linked to better cognitive function, sharper memory, and a reduced risk of age-related cognitive decline. Conversely, low BDNF levels are associated with memory problems and neurodegenerative diseases. Studies suggest that Gotu Kola compounds can significantly increase BDNF levels in the brain. By boosting BDNF, sipping Gotu Kola tea provides direct support for the survival, growth, and connectivity of the neurons involved in your memory processes. It's like turning up the signal that tells your brain to build and maintain its memory infrastructure. The impact of stress on memory cannot be overstated. When you're stressed, your body releases hormones like cortisol. In small, short bursts, cortisol is fine. But chronic stress, leading to constantly elevated cortisol levels, is toxic to the brain, particularly the hippocampus, your memory command center. High cortisol can actually shrink the hippocampus and damage its ability to form new memories. Gotu Kola is classified as an adaptogen. Adaptogens are natural substances that help your body adapt to and resist the negative effects of physical, chemical, and emotional stress. They help normalize your body's stress response system, particularly the complex axis involving your brain, pituitary gland, and adrenal glands, the HPA axis. By helping to regulate cortisol release and buffer the brain against its damaging effects, Gotu Kola tea protects your hippocampus. A calmer, less stressed brain is simply a better environment for memory formation and recall. Drinking the tea can feel like applying a soothing balm to your frazzled nervous system, indirectly but powerfully supporting your cognitive function. So, how do you actually harness this power? Making Gotu Kola tea is simple, but technique matters to get the good stuff out. You can usually find dried Gotu Kola leaves in health food stores, herb shops, or online. Aim for organic if possible. Take about 1 to 2 teaspoons of the dried, cut leaves and place them in a cup or small teapot. Pour freshly boiled water over them. Cover the cup or pot immediately, this is crucial. Many of the beneficial volatile compounds can escape with the steam if left uncovered. Let it steep for at least 10 to 15 minutes, or even longer, up to 20 to 30 minutes is fine for a stronger infusion. The longer steeping time allows more of the active triterpenes and other compounds to be extracted into the water. The tea will have a distinctive, slightly earthy, herbaceous flavor. Some describe it as green or vaguely reminiscent of mild green tea, but unique. It's generally not bitter. If the taste is a bit strong for you initially, you can start with a shorter steep or slightly less leaf. You can also add a slice of fresh ginger or a squeeze of lemon for flavor, and their own benefits, or a small amount of raw honey to sweeten slightly. The key is consistency. Think of this as a nourishing ritual, not a quick fix. Aim to drink 1 to 2 cups daily, ideally over several weeks or months. The benefits for memory and cognitive function tend to build gradually with regular use, reflecting its restorative nature. Many find having a cup in the morning helps set a clear tone for the day, and perhaps another in the early afternoon. It's really important to have realistic expectations. Gotu Kola tea is a supportive tonic, not a magic bullet. It won't instantly give you a photographic memory or reverse significant cognitive decline. Think of it as providing excellent daily maintenance and nourishment for your brain, helping it function at its best potential. It works most effectively when combined with other brain-healthy habits. Quality sleep is non-negotiable. Your brain consolidates memories and clears waste during deep sleep. Regular physical exercise, especially aerobic exercise, is like superfood for your brain. It boosts blood flow, increases BDNF, and reduces stress. A healthy diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats, like omega-3s from fish or flax, provides the essential building blocks for brain cells. Mental stimulation, learning new things, reading, puzzles, engaging conversations, keeps those neural networks active and growing. Stress management techniques like meditation, deep breathing, or spending time in nature are vital. Gotu Kola tea complements these foundational pillars beautifully, enhancing your brain's natural resilience and capacity. While generally very safe, there are a few things to keep in mind with Gotu Kola tea. Some people might experience mild stomach upset or nausea, especially when starting or if taking too much. Start with a smaller amount, 1 teaspoon, and see how you feel. Because it can have mild sedative effects for some, it might make you feel slightly relaxed or sleepy, usually not a problem, but avoid driving if you feel overly drowsy initially. Gotu Kola may have mild effects on liver enzymes. While serious issues are rare and often linked to excessive long-term use or pre-existing conditions, it's wise to consult your doctor before starting regular consumption, especially if you have existing liver problems or are taking medications metabolized by the liver, like certain statins for cholesterol, blood thinners, or some antidepressants. Due to its potential calming effects, it could potentially interact with other CNS depressants, like sedatives, sleep aids, or anti-anxiety medications. It might also slightly lower blood sugar, so diabetics should monitor levels closely. Crucially, Gotu Kola is not recommended for pregnant or breastfeeding women due to insufficient safety data and potential uterine stimulant effects observed in some animal studies. Always talk to your healthcare provider before adding any new herbal tea regularly, especially if you have underlying health conditions or take medications. They can help you assess if it's right for you and determine a safe approach. The tradition of using Gotu Kola for brain health, deeply embedded in ancient systems like Ayurveda where it's called Brahmi, though sometimes confused with Bacopa monnieri, also called Brahmi, isn't just folklore. Modern scientific research provides compelling support for its cognitive benefits. Numerous laboratory studies, in vitro and animal models, have consistently shown Gotu Kola extracts improving learning and memory in various tests, protecting brain cells from toxins and damage, reducing inflammation and oxidative stress, stimulating nerve growth, and increasing BDNF levels. Human clinical trials, while often smaller and sometimes using standardized extracts rather than just tea, also show promise. Studies in healthy elderly volunteers, students, and individuals experiencing age-related cognitive decline or mild cognitive impairment have reported improvements in cognitive performance, including attention, concentration, information processing speed, and importantly, aspects of memory recall and retention after supplementation with Gotu Kola. Participants often report feeling sharper, less forgetful, and more mentally agile. While more large-scale, long-term human studies specifically on tea consumption are always beneficial, the convergence of centuries of traditional wisdom, robust preclinical data on mechanisms, and positive findings from existing human cognitive studies strongly supports Gotu Kola's role as a legitimate and valuable herbal ally for memory support. It represents a beautiful synergy where ancestral intuition meets modern scientific validation. Integrating Gotu Kola tea into your life for memory support can be a mindful ritual of self-care. Brewing the tea, measuring the leaves, pouring the hot water, inhaling its unique earthy aroma as it steeps under its cover, can be a moment of pause, a dedication to your cognitive well-being. Sipping it warm allows you to slow down and connect with the intention behind it. Consistency is key. Making it a regular part of your morning or afternoon routine is what allows the beneficial effects to accumulate. Pay attention to subtle shifts over time. You might notice it's easier to recall names or details. You might feel less mental fatigue after focusing for a while. Tasks requiring concentration might feel less daunting. That feeling of words being on the tip of your tongue might happen less often. You might simply feel a greater sense of mental clarity and calm focus. These are the signs that the nourishment is reaching your brain. So, the next time you find yourself struggling to recall something, or you simply want to proactively support your brain's vitality for the long haul, consider the quiet power of Gotu Kola. Steep those green leaves in hot water, cover the cup, let the potent triterpenes infuse. As you sip the warm, earthy tea, imagine it enhancing the blood flow to your hippocampus, delivering fresh oxygen and fuel. Visualize its antioxidants shielding your neurons from daily wear and tear, its anti-inflammatory compounds calming background noise. Feel it stimulating the growth of new dendrites and synapses, weaving a stronger memory network. Sense it boosting BDNF, encouraging your brain cells to thrive and connect. Know it's helping buffer your mind against the corrosive effects of stress. It's a daily act of profound nourishment for the organ that holds your very identity, your memories. Make Gotu Kola tea your gentle, natural companion on the journey towards a sharper, more resilient mind. Your brain, working tirelessly every moment, deserves this kind of dedicated, natural support. Commit to the ritual, sip consistently, and nurture your cognitive garden. You might be pleasantly surprised by the clarity that blossoms.